Today we're going to take a look at how to use your course's online discussion forum. I have already logged into Sakai at sakai.duke.edu using my registered email address, and I am looking at my online course. Discussion forums are the lifeblood of a Duke Tip online course. Like class discussions in a face-to-face classroom, discussion forums are an opportunity for you to ask and answer challenging questions, collaborate on ideas with your classmates, interact with your instructor, and demonstrate your understanding of course concepts. Therefore, it's important to note that they are not like chat messaging or a personal blog. There should be an academic tone to your coursework post in a discussion forum. However, these forums are not so formal that you can't demonstrate your personality and individuality. Remember, your classmates post content on the discussion forums throughout the day, just as you will. So, you'll want to check and post to the discussion forums often. You don't want to miss out on the conversation. So, let's go ahead and click on the Forums tool in my online course. There are two types of activities you'll do in your discussion forum. You'll read content posted by your instructor and your classmates, and you'll post your own comments and responses to your classmates. Today, we're going to cover both of these aspects, but first, I want you to learn how to navigate the structure of your forum and also learn some important terminology. When you click on the Forums tool in your online course, you will see Forums and Topics. Forums are the main categories for discussion created by your instructor. They have a light yellow background around the text. For example, this forum is called Week 1, Our World and Other Worlds. My instructor has written a brief description of the forum underneath the forum title that lets me know what type of work I should expect to create for this forum. It says, by June 17th, post your thoughts on 3 of the 4 topic discussion questions on this week's material. Also, respond to at least 2 posts by others in the class. See further notes by clicking the full description. I can't reply to a forum. Remember, it's just a category for discussion. Underneath the forum are subcategories called topics. Sometimes a forum will have a few different subcategories for discussion. These topics have a small speech bubble beside them. That bubble shows us that this is where the conversation is happening. Your instructor will write specific instructions about what she or he wants you to talk about within that topic area. This Week 1 Our World and Other Worlds forum has 4 topics, and I've been instructed to post my thoughts in 3 of the 4 topics. Let's look at one of these topics. I'll choose Flatland. The prompt for this specific topic says, in Flatland, Abbott portrays a 2-dimensional world. How is this world like our world? How is it unlike our world? Create a new thread for your response. I'm going to read the full description now to make sure I understand the assignment. Always click View Full Description to make sure you are not missing any important instructions from your instructor. The additional comments are, be certain to provide specific examples for your post and be thorough in your explanation. So, I need to create something called a thread. Before we do that, let's pause here and really take a look at this screen. I can see the title of the forum and the title of this particular topic up at the top of the screen. Think of this as a navigation to remind you where you are. Down below there are other pieces of information about this topic and the current state of its discussion. This screen will tell us what a thread is. A thread is a single conversation started by you, your classmates, or your instructor. In a thread, one person will begin a thread by posting a message, and others can then post a response message within that same thread. At this screen we can see information about the threads within this topic. Looks like there is one so far. At this screen I can also see how many messages from my instructor or classmates are in each thread, and I can also see the total number of messages that I have not read yet. In this case, one of my classmates, Tracy, started a thread in response to the discussion, just as our instructor has asked. Remember, a thread is a conversation about a particular subject started by one person. In this case, I will start a thread containing my unique thoughts about Flatland. Your fellow classmates will be able to respond to your thread, and your teacher will respond to you as well, so keep that in mind when you start a new thread. I'll start a new thread by clicking Post New Thread. When you start a new thread, you'll want to make sure that you write a title for your thread that is as specific as possible. I'm going to title my thread Strange and Familiar Themes in Flatland. In this Post New Thread screen, you'll see an editor box for your message. You can see that the message box has many options for editing your text the way that Microsoft Word does. If you don't need this or would like to see more space, click the small arrow on the bottom left of the yellow box and that will minimize your options to make things easier to see. It is important to review your instructor's instructions about each topic before you start your thread or respond to your classmate's thread. When starting a new thread, I suggest that students prepare their comments in a Word document prior to posting them in the discussion forum. You don't have to use this method, but if you do, you'll have time to carefully consider and craft your post. Remember, your new post will be the beginning of a great discussion between you, your classmates, and your instructor. Also, if you use a Word document, you'll have your work saved on your computer, just in case the browser closes before you complete your post or something else unexpected happens, like the power goes out. Sakai does not allow you to save your in-progress discussion forum comments, so it's always good to have a backup. If you're working from a Word document, when you're ready to post your comments, you will copy and paste from your Word document. So I'll copy here and now go back to my browser and paste. When you attempt to paste directly into the editor box, Sakai will prompt you to paste inside a small window instead. This is a normal step, so you'll just paste there like you would normally and then click OK. Now, I can see and review my comments. Once you're done with your message, you can see that you also have the option of attaching a file. So if you wanted to talk about a particular picture that this discussion or your comment brought to mind, you could attach it here. It's possible your instructor might ask you to attach a file as well. Any attachment that you include should be appropriate and related to the thread of the discussion. Also, you'll want to make sure that it is in line with the Duke Tip online course policies. So, if you'd like to attach a file, you can click this button and find the appropriate file on your computer. I'm ready to post my new thread, so I'm going to click Post Message. And now I can see my new thread called Strange and Familiar Themes in Flatland. When my classmates come to the Flatland topic, they will be able to read my thread and respond to me. So, we've walked through how to post a new thread. But remember, to complete the assignment set by this course instructor, students will have to respond to other students' threads as well. Let's go back to the overall forum Week 1, Our World and Other Worlds, by clicking on the title of the forum in this line up above. Remember, this will remind you where you are within the discussion forum of your course. I can see the 4 topics within this week's forums. This time I'll click The War of the Worlds. This topic refers to an audio recording that our class listened to for homework. Here, my instructor has written directions. He says, when the War of the Worlds was first broadcast, many radio listeners thought the Earth was really being invaded. In 2 steps, I'd like you to discuss the broadcast and its effects. Please read the full description. Remember, always click View Full Description to make sure you're not missing any important instructions from your instructor. The additional comments are, first, identify the ways in which this broadcast presented the illusion that this was really happening. Second, do you think this illusion is important to the story? Why or why not? Here I can see the title of the first thread, The War of the Worlds and Why It Seems So Real. The person who started the thread, Tracy Walker, and the date the thread began. When I click on the name of the thread, I'll be able to open and read Tracy's comments. These are her comments about what she thought about the reading, specifically addressing both questions asked by our instructor. Once I've read what she said, I might be interested in reading what other classmates have said in response to her. I can see that another classmate, Lynn, has responded to Tracy's opening post in her thread. Lynn says she likes the post that Tracy made and she makes specific comments about the things that Tracy said while also adding original and thorough ideas of her own. So, if you were a student in this course and wanted to post a response to either Tracy or Lynn, you could do that here. To do that, look closely at the top of the individual's post. Click on Reply. That will open a message reply screen. The screen for responding to someone else's thread or post looks a lot like the screen we just saw for posting a new thread. However, at this screen I will see my instructor's brief instructions, the full message that I am replying to, in this case Tracy's, and the editor box we saw earlier when we were posting a new thread. Your course forums will be lively and you may find yourself in the flow of a great conversation. When responding to a thread, you may not choose to use the Word document preparation method I demonstrated earlier. Think of your response as a class discussion in a face-to-face classroom. I've gone ahead and typed my response directly in the editor box. My response, like Lynn's, shows that I have carefully read Tracy's post and have synthesized her comments. I also introduced new ideas and have asked a question. Double check that your work looks like you want it to. Just like before, I have the option to add an attachment. When you're ready to share your response, you can click Post Message. My reply has been posted and I can now see my comments in the thread. So, students who come to this thread later will see my comments in addition to Lynn's and Tracy's. I'll click back to the main page of the Forums tool by clicking on the icon that looks like two small blue arrows up here in the upper left-hand corner. This is the Reset button, and it will set whatever tool you're in back to its default view. One thing that I will note before we leave this tool is the Watch feature up here at the top. You can customize the type of email notification you receive when there's activity in the forums. You may elect to only receive emails when discussions you have contributed to are updated, but you may also want to keep up with the activity across the entire online course and from all of your classmates. Make your choice here and it will set your notifications for all of the forums and topics within your course site. When you're finished reading and posting on the discussion forum and you'd like to move to other areas of the course, you can click on those items in the navigation menu. If you'd like to log out of your course, look to the upper right-hand corner of the screen and click Log Out. Good luck and happy posting!